Welcome to 560's documentary about the Victorians. The Victorian era started in 1837 and ended in 1901. We will start this journey by taking you back to the 24th of May 1819.
Queen Victoria was born in 1819 on May 24th. She was the longest reigning monarch in the world. She reigned for 64 years. She married her first cousin, Prince Albert, and had 9 kids, 5 girls and 4 boys.
Prince Albert died in 1839, and after the death of him, Queen Victoria wore black for the rest of her days. She turned very miserable.
After Albert's death, Victoria rarely left the palace. Unfortunately, 3 of her kids died before her death. They died after Prince Albert.
She died in 1901 when she was 81. She died of old age.
In 1833, Lord Shaftesbury introduced the Factory Act.
Britain was the first country to have factories in their environment. Therefore, they were the most successful country in Victorian times.
Factories were loud, so they had to shout above of all of the rattle and the hiss of the machinery.
They breathed soot, dust and flames, and sparks lit up the sky, darkened by the smoke from the chimneys.
Factory owners employed children because they were cheap and didn't complain. They also had nimble fingers and could crawl about and under machines.
Lord Shaftesbury attempted to stop the factory owners from employing children by reducing the hours they could work. They also made sure that they got an education.
Now we move to 1834 when workhouses were introduced because of the Poor Law.
Welcome to our clip about workhouses.
They were introduced because of the Poor Law in 1834.
They built workhouses to give them jobs and feed them, plus it gave workhouse owners and government money.
If the bobbies caught paupers on the street, they were sent to the workhouses immediately. The conditions in a workhouse was appalling, dirty and unhygienic, and old. The only food they were given was gruel.
Gruel diluted porridge was horrible. It was made of oats, food scraps and a lot of water.
These days there were no workhouses, thankfully.
Amazingly, in 1837, the beginning of some brilliant Victorian inventions began to appear. This is our overview of Victorian inventions.
We're starting off with the first ever photograph taken in 1838 by Louis de Guerre.
Next, Isambard Kinder Brunel invented the first ever propeller ship called the SS Great Britain.
He also invented the world's famous Clifton suspension bridge.
The penny black stamp was introduced by David Charles in 1840.
It was the first ever adhesive postage stamp.
And it also had Queen Victoria's profile against the black base.
Many men from the Victorian period are still famous today. Next, we are going to talk about Charles Dickens.
He wrote some fantastic books. He visited his dad when he was in prison. He wrote real-life stories about children in the workhouse. He's the one and only Charles Dickens.
Some of the magnificent books he wrote were Oliver Twist, A Dinner to Popular Walk, A Christmas Carol, Hard Times, Our Mutual Friends, and many, many more.
These are the dates the books were written on. Oliver Twist was written in 1838, A Christmas Carol was written in 1848, Hard Times was written in 1857, and Our Mutual Friend was written in 1865.
Dickens died in June 1870 at home in Kent. He was working on a new book. It was The Mystery of Edwin Drood. Charles Dickens was buried in Westminster Abbey.
During the Victorian era, there were many famous men, but we have picked out the most important.
On the 9th of April 1882 in Shrewsbury, one of the many important scientists called Charles Darwin was born. He started the theory of evolution. Evolution is a slow progress that changes animals and plants. He said an ape could be a descendant to a human.
Robert Peel was a British Prime Minister for Queen Victoria and invented the Metropolitan Police Force in 1822. He was born in 1788 and died in 1850. His legacy still lives on as a university and a hospital still stand in his name.
The name Bobbies came from Robert Peel's name.
Another important figure to the Victorian family is Isambard Kinder Brunel. He was famous for engineering and creating the structures that are still around today. His most popular structure is the Clifton Suspension Bridge.
He also created steamships in the Thames Tunnel. He not only created the structures,
but worked on them and engineered them too.
Britain remembered him in the 2012 Olympic Games, which showed his revolutionary effects.
We hope you enjoyed 5, 6, See Me there by the Victorians. Goodbye.